Good morning, you guys. Well, it's another day of our distance learning, and I decided to do carpet time for you guys today so we can talk about some things and learn some new concepts. And I just miss you guys. I miss you guys terribly. Well, today we have our kangaroo. Usually I'll have a child that sits here, but well, today we're going to have Kanga, and she's going to be our little helper today. Now, what a wonderful day it is. We are going to talk about the calendar. So, what month are we in? We talked about this yesterday. Yes, we're still in the month of September. So we're going to point over here. I hope you guys can see that. It is our calendar. And I usually have somebody for chores for our calendar, but right now, I'm going to have to do it for you. So we are in the month of September, okay? Now, September we had a special day. We had the first day of autumn, and that we talked about was on the 22nd. Now, that's from when we start going from summer, where it's nice and hot, and our weather is starting to get cooler. Have you noticed our mornings are starting to get cooler outside? One thing that's going to start happening is leaves are going to start turning colors. And what colors are they changing? Some will be turning to yellow and reds. It is a beautiful time of year. And it's great to go out and take pictures because it quickly, all the leaves will fall to the ground. So we're in that transition right now. And actually, let's talk about our weather today. Now, we have kids from all over. So, is it cloudy outside where you're at? Is there snow outside where you're at? Is it cold outside where you're at? Or is it sunny outside? And where I'm at, it's still a hot day here in California, so we're still going to put up sunny, but our mornings are starting to get just a little bit colder out there. So it's kind of nice. All right, well, one of the things that we're going to talk about today, let's talk about the color that we're looking at. Right now, we are looking at the colors of red. Okay, so we have a color that we talk about, we have a shape, we have numbers, we have our alphabets, but today we're talking about red. So I had to kind of go around my classroom and find just a few things that are red, and I would like you to also go around where you're at and see what is red around your house. So I was able to find some red cars, and I have a whole bunch of automobile counters. So I was able to go and find 4 red counters. Is that how many I have? 1, 2, 3, 4 red counters. Now, I don't know if you know what these are, but these are magnets. So I was able to find 3 magnets. And in our little kitchen set, I found this weird thing. Do you guys know what that is? It's got kind of a weird top on it. Well, some might think it's an apple, but it's not. It's called a pomegranate. So those are really yummy. They have lots of seeds that you eat inside. And then the last thing I found was a pair of scissors that have a red handle. So, and actually I wanted to talk to you about scissors, since this is usually the time of year where we start class and you guys get your school supplies and glue and all kinds of sort of things on your desks. And one of the things that go in your boxes on your desk is a pair of scissors. Now, scissors do have a sharp end, and they open and they close. Now, what I want to talk about with scissors is when you hand somebody a pair of scissors, you cover the blade, okay, and then you hand it to them gently, and then they release, and then they're able to grab it, okay? We don't want to pass a pair of scissors like this because that can injure somebody, okay? And even poke somebody in the eye. When you're walking around, say you want to go from a desk to another desk to cut something, are you going to walk like this? No, we want to cover that sharp part with our hand, just like that. And that's how we'll walk around. So that's how we use a pair of scissors. Now, scissors, are you going to go and cut somebody's hair? No, okay? Scissors are only meant for paper when you're doing a project, okay? So just make sure that you have an adult and you're using your scissors properly, okay? Don't do anything bad with a pair of scissors. All right, so those are some of my red things. So we're going to put this over here. Now, some of the words that we were talking about on our sight list, okay? So I'm going to get a little closer. So we have I, no, yes, up, it, am, at, the, we, can, and those are the sight words that we were looking at, okay? And those will help us out when we're reading. So right now we're going to read a book called Pete the Cat and His Groovy Buttons. And you guys are going to have some themed units this week, and you're going to have some fun things to do with
Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons, written by Eric Litwin, art by James Dean.
Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song.
My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons.
Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left?
3!
4 minus 1 equals 3. Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no!
Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song.
My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons.
Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left?
2!
3 minus 1 equals 2. Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no!
Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song.
My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons.
Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left?
1!
2 minus 1 equals 1. Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no!
Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song.
My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button.
Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left?
0.
1 minus 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry?
Goodness, no.
Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button! And he kept on singing his song.
My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button.
I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no.
We keep
On singing.
That book. Now what I wanted to talk about is good old Pete the Cat and his groovy buttons. Well, I have some buttons, and you guys can do this at home, so that's why I wanted to show you. You guys can get some buttons. I have all kinds of buttons, okay? All kinds of different shapes. I have a rabbit. I have a cow. I have a square. All kinds. And what I did was I went out and I got some stickers and I put a number on it and 2 stickers. So what I want to do is I want you guys to start learning how to count and also to be able to recognize those numbers, okay? So how I would do it is I would count. And for me, with my kids, I like to be able to get those buttons and set them right on top and then count those buttons. But you can also count like the puppies. I have 5 Dalmatians, so I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And is that the number 5? It is. So I have lots of these. Here's some bees. How many bees? 1, 2, 3. And then I have a 3. And you can go from easy all the way to hard, and you can keep on going. Just got to find those small stickers. So there's something that you guys can do at home with your buttons. And since we were talking about groovy buttons, I thought we would do our counting today. So I'm going to grab, I got a whole box, but I'm going to grab 1 handful. And then I'll grab another handful. Okay. Can you tell me which hand has more and which one has fewer than the other? Is it this hand? Or is it this hand? We can even look at it by stacking. I think you guys know this one was the one that had more, but let's count how many I have all together and we'll put them in our button box. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I had 11. 11 in those 2 hands. And as you know, some of these are buttons that I use with my kids, and we love to do button bingo. But since I don't have any kids in my class right now, let's talk about some of the shapes that you just saw me count. Do you know what shape that is? It's a star. And what color is it? It's yellow. What shape is this? It has no sides. It's a circle, and this is actually our shape that we're going to be talking about. And what color is this? It's blue. Well, this kind of looks like a squish circle, or what a lot of kids say, an egg shaped, but it's an oval. So this is an orange oval. A lot of you will know what color and shape that is. It is a green heart, right? That's our green heart. And we'll just look at one more, because this one has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is a square. And what color is it? You're right, it is red. So those are some of our shapes and some of our colors. Now, we looked at our tree the other day. And what kind of tree was this? Do you guys remember? It was a coconut tree. And we have a book that goes with this that we'll talk about later on. But I found our letter. So we already have our letter A. But now we're going to add, let's put it right there. Do you guys know what letter that is? Here's our A. And there's our B. Okay, so this is the letter B. Now this is the lowercase b, okay? Now what is our B? What's the sound a B makes? B. Can you guys make the sound a B makes? B. B. All right, now this B is an uppercase B. Notice it goes down here and here. And what animal is hiding inside that B? That is a bear. So for bear, it sounds like B, bear. Very good. So now that we have our B, we talked about our A for sign language last time. And our A went like this, a closed fist with your thumb here, an A, and it went for apple. Can you do that? Apple. And then animal. Animal. So that was our A. Now we're going to be learning the B. Okay, you put your 4 fingers up and put your thumb right there. And that is our B. And some sign language that goes with the sound of a B for B is baby. And it's just like you're rocking a baby, okay? And bed. So you have baby, bed, and our last one is boy. Boy. So we have baby, bed, and boy. And that was for our letter B. Very good. I think that's pretty impressive. Well, that's another story time, carpet time for us today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.